Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see here. Can you see me? You can see me. Yes. How are you doing? So, hope all is well and everyone is getting on. It is. I'm excited to be on this call, and we got a lot of great information that we're gonna come and teach and talk about and topic. And Risha, hello. How are you doing? Thank you for being on the call, on the webinar. Can you hear my voice? I just want to do a quality check before we get started. We're gonna get a few people rolling in, and so if you can hear me good, just type in the comment box that you can hear me. And you know what? I am going to. Yep. Okay, perfect. Sweet. So as you get familiar with the comment box inside the training, if you have some questions, you can ask questions throughout, and I'll be happy to answer them. Can't promise I'll get to all of them. This training is going to be every other week. Twice a month, and it's going to be very topic specific. We are asking for some feedback from you. So if you want to hear a specific thing taught, that you have a little burning desire or something you want us to go a little bit more in depth, then the best avenue to do that is to go into your into Teamwork and put in the message center, hey, I would be interested in hearing maybe this topic or that topic. And that allows two different platforms for us. Number one, we know what you want. Number two, that might be something that we can talk about in, you might need a little bit quicker info on it, so we could give you that. Maybe we do a little video for you. We could do that, or it'll be here. So there's a few different platforms that we might be able to put that out to you. And there's no promise we'll get to every single one of them, because, we could get like 75, 100 people asking for different ones. But we will definitely try our best to make sure that we can give you that content. For right now, this is going to be the mentorship program, moving in the progression from starting to actually selling and closing, and after action review and team and all of that kind of stuff inside this. So it's kind of would have the vibe of starting brand new. Where are you going to through the process and whatnot. And we're actually working on some great tools, some visual aids. And, part of me just wants to give them to you so that you get them quickly. But some of them are not like pretty and all polished looking and professional. And some of you, some of the people on the call, you'll see, like, I have my whiteboard on the board behind me. So, I myself and the team, we're like little mad scientists. We all have like a whiteboard, and we'll write on the board, and we'll draft out our ideas, and we'll take something that it might be a concept and put it on the board. And it's like, wow, amazing. Like I literally have one right here, which is our timeline of progression. But we wrote it on the board, so it's not so clean and clear and pretty and have all the PowerPoint and the professional editing and all of that stuff, but it is so good. Oh my God, it's so good. Zach and I and one of the other coaches looked at it, and it was like, wow, simple, clean, to the point. It's what the client wants to come and see. They want to see the progression of where this whole thing is going. And it's just drafted on the board. So we're working on cleaning it up and making it all professional for you, and be like, hey, that was beautiful. But I look at it, I've been sitting here. As soon as I put it on the board, a lot of times we'll write it on the board. We take a picture of the board, and then we'll print it out. So this has been sitting on my board. I'm gonna kind of probably talk to it a little bit, talk about it a little bit more as we go through. So yeah, any questions? If you have any comments, you can put it in the comment box, and we can talk about it now. Some people are going to be listening to this on the replay, and unfortunately, maybe you put your comment in the message center and Teamwork for there. If it's a replay, just probably not want to put it in the replay box, because that's not the best place for it. So ignite your business. Ignite your business. First, let's go over this call is probably going to be about like 50 minutes, something of that nature, a little less than an hour. Is designed for small tidbits, bite-sized pieces, get some information, get that piece enough to digest, not to overwhelm you, and to keep you just educated and educated and educated and constant resource to you. So, most people got this first mentorship coaching call piece inside here, but some of the things that I wanted to come and talk about was what is the plan? What are some of the tools that you're going to be using in the beginning? There's a few different ways to approach this business, right? So one of the ways to approach the business is rough and dirty, and I'm just going to do the bare basics that I got to go do, and maybe I'll get a deal done. And I will tell you that is the number one fallout way. You might get a check, you might get 2 checks, but it's the number one fallout way of sliding right out of the business quickly, even after you made some money. And the proper way is to actually build the right systems, build the right systems and processes up front, intellectually get how this thing runs so that it can be duplicatable. Not only that, as we see a lot of people that they just understand enough on how to structure the deal without really owning it, versus, hey, I actually do know that Mako formula. I could get a phone call in a diner and just with friends and or family, and somebody calls me and says, hey, they got a deal, or someone sitting in front of me says, yeah, you know what? You had that conversation is like, and I've had this where I'm sitting in a diner with someone, and that's what I came up with. And they're like, hey, I know you buying houses. I came, I have this property that I've been, I inherited, and I need to get rid of this thing. So I kind of go right into my mental script, and my mental script is literally the script that you guys have inside Teamwork, is a property information sheet. And I kind of go through that. I've visualized that form, and I asked them, all the right questions. I ask them all the questions. And then after asking them the right questions, get an idea of what the property may be worth. And then I do the math. I did the math right there on the back of the, the thing that's on the paper that's on the table, whatever they call that paper. And I took all my notes on that, and then I did the math right there. ARV times 65% minus the repairs. Here's what that number kind of looked like. I asked him if he was looking to sell it for REO, because that's my standard question. They said, I want a little bit of money. And right there at the diner, because I knew how to structure the deal and do the math, I'm able to put a deal together. So I want that for you. I want you to learn how to do that right. And then also understanding having the right tools in place, and why do you have the tools? So one thing, when we're looking at the mentorship first call outline, there's a lot of tools inside there. And one of the things that we put on the top, it says that you don't need every tool. And there are a lot of different people that enter the program at different levels, different mental levels, different financial levels, different levels of understanding the internet. As we probably all know, and if you take yourself out of your own box, that there are some people that are not comfortable with with being, all on the internet. And then there are people that absolutely love placemat. Thank you. Yes, I wrote on the placemat. And then there are people that all they want to do is be on the internet. I always think that there's, the golden rule is everything in moderations. The person that loves and just always want to be behind that computer and working on the computer and everything is technology. I always caution with that person, are you going to be okay with getting on the phone and having a real phone call with a real human being that's really trying to sell their house? Because that's how real deals get done. Please don't, and I emphasize this. This is honestly one of my pet peeves that I have with newer investors, that all they want to do is hide behind and make offers on the computer and never talk to a human. Because that's not how real deals are made. Real deals are never made just all on the computer with technology. They are never made that way. The minute someone, we do a lot of marketing. When we do our marketing, let's say we're sending direct mail out. Maybe direct mail is not so good, because on direct mail there's a phone call and a phone number, and only a phone number to call. So the only way to get back in touch with me is a phone number. But let's say we do this strategy with sending, and we're going to teach you about this. sending an email to all the people inside Zillow that have that are for sale by owner, because Zillow does post for sale by owners. So when we send that email, we say, hey, my name is Jason, and I saw that you had a property for sale. I'm interested in purchasing the property. Is it possible that we might be able to talk so I can get some more information about the property? So it's always interesting that the person will email back, well, what would you like to know about the property? And I would email back politely, well, I would like to get to know know a little bit more about the property and some of the details inside there. And I know that it already says the bedrooms and bathroom, just kind of like to chat a little bit further because I am interested. And the response back would sometimes be, well, what kind of questions might you have? And I'm thinking, really? Does that sound like someone that really wants to sell their house? And let's say the house is a $300,000 house. Who buys a $300,000 house sending emails back and forth? Not I, not with my money, and not a normal homeowner. So what I always try to do is to get them from offline, from online, from the internet to live, because that's how things really go. I want to find out more about them. I want to talk to someone and tell me about that. So that's kind of my little hazard in between this. So a lot of times, my new response, I used to always get upset with that, and I kind of still do a little bit, but I don't so much. So my new response is, I'm interested in the property, and if they kind of go back and forth, well, give me your questions. I'm interested in the property, and this is a very large investment for myself and my family, and I would just like to be able to speak to someone because I'm kind of more of I like to talk to a person when I'm making such a big financial investment in my life. And then all of a sudden it hits them in the head and it's like, well, yeah, that might make sense. And then they'll either get on the phone or they don't. The ones that don't get on their phone and just want to go emails, I put them into another bucket. And that bucket typically says that they are not going to sell their house fast. Anyone that calls for our deals, we do marketing online. My number one objective is to get them to raise their hand and call me so that we can speak about the property. Why? That shows interest. That shows that they want to come and do something. And I want to connect with that human. I want to find out what they're looking for. I want to be able to come and answer their questions. I want to see where they are. I want to see if my house and them are a match. Those two are a match. I want to make that match happen quickly and as fast as possible. And I will tell you this, here is something that comes to mind. And I tell the team all the time, when they're hot, they're hot. When they are not, they are not. You might want to write that down. That's for buyers. That's for sellers. When they're hot, they're hot. When they're not, they're not. That might even work in the dating world. When they're hot for you, they're hot. And then when they're not, they're not. Might be a slogan that goes across the world, right? Or rather a broad span of things. And especially in today's time with all the noise of the ads everywhere and just all this demand of people, you need to catch them. I've had homeowners that were like literally in foreclosure. They only have days left before their human body will be in the street. And they have like a lot of equity, but they just get so busy and they don't stop. So there got to be some kind of a pattern interrupt that's going to get them to stop for a second and engage. Anyways, so moving from here, my next slide is, give me 1 second. Let's see. Okay. So the next slide. So these are the slides, and they should be all in your teamwork. If you don't have them, then we can figure that out and take care of you there. But the one that I really wanted to focus on was this one: system setup, and business tools. So with this one, why is this one kind of standing out, and why I wanted to talk about it? Because remember, you're right in the beginning of the program, and a lot of times people just are like, yo, I just want deals. Give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money. I just want the deal. Give me the money. Give me the money. And so that's kind of not the progression of how we do it up front. And the reason why is because there's this big underlying conversation of teach a person to fish. So I'm looking to teach you how to fish so that you can eat forever. If I just teach you how to do a structured deal and just do marketing, because those are very key components. You know how to structure a deal, you get the marketing, you pre-screen, and you do that piece. Could you fumble through some deals? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But using all the right tools, it's going to make it where it's duplicatable. Life is easier. You're going to work a lot less. You're going to have it allow more quality of life, and you have more fun with the business versus just struggling through the process. And I can't tell you how many investors that I see struggling through the process and not putting the correct processes and systems in place, and they just struggle through. And I have been there. I get it. I have been there. I'm not even saying that I'm not there in certain places right now, because I am not perfect. I'm just working my way and doing the best that I have with what I got. So in the systems and setup here, one of the things that right on the top, it says business tools and systems. You might need some of them, you might not. And yeah, not all are required. So teamwork, most everyone has teamwork. The reason why we put teamwork in it, it's a project management tool. So the project management tool, you have it integrated with us, but it may not be a bad idea to use teamwork on your own side, especially if you're once you get to do multiple projects. There are people right now starting on this call that have never done a deal before. There are people that are listening to this that have done, 50, 100 deals or more. And they're saying, hey, how do I keep a track of my renovation? Teamwork is a perfect platform to keep a track of your renovation. Some of you are saying, hey, I'm hiring a team member, a virtual assistant, I have a partner, or my sister's going to help me, or my child, is going to help me. Maybe you got a teen or a child that may be older that is going to help you. So then teamwork is a great platform in which you can collaborate and be able to just keep the project clean on what has to be done, how and when, and what milestone, and who's responsible for what, and just have the floodgates of communication open. So that's why I love teamwork. We use teamwork for some of the rehabs. People have asked me, do we use them for the rehab? Yes, we do use it for the rehab. We also have some other softwares that help us with rehab, like building the budget for the rehab and analyzing how much the cost repair might be. We sometimes use RealFlow for some of that. And then we may use some other software when we have contractors out on the field. I think it's called like co-struction or something. There's a few different apps that are out there, man, that are phenomenal and give freedom. Like, so when I hire a contractor, and we have a contractor that we kind of primarily work with, and then we have some other subs. But the main contractor works with this app, and when we first get the new project, we build out all the things that they need to do inside that app. And when they build out all the things that they need to do inside the app, we can check off. There may be 50 different things that they need to do for the app. And give me 1 second. I want to kind of shift my screen a little bit here. Let's see here. You can see me a little bit bigger. Why not? Right. So that software will communicate, because one of the important things with that construction software, it's an app, which means that they see it. It's on their phone, on my phone, on their computer. They can use it any way that they want. And that app will say, okay, it needs to be, we need paint, we need carpet, we need electrical, we need plumbing, we need a kitchen, we need new tiles in the kitchen, and we're going to resurface the floors, and we're going to do the grass in the backyard, and we got to do put a new roof. So we'll outline each piece, and you can put pictures inside there and checklists inside there, and the timestamp, and it's a timeline of what is going to be done when, how do we get paid, and everything is real time. Very similar to teamwork. So they'll take a picture. When I first start, I take a picture of the roof. I take a picture of this area. And let's just say I needed to look at, they say, hey, Jason, we pulled off the siding of the building because we're putting new siding, and we see it's all rotted, which is something that really did happen. And I'm like, all right, I says, send me some pictures. And he already knows whatever challenge come up. He doesn't always have to call me, hey, this is a problem, or this is a problem, or this is a problem. And then he's making 10 phone calls. He could just say, all right, here are 3 challenges we saw today. The siding, and he already knows what I'm looking for. Okay, can we fix it? What are some solutions to it? What are some cheap solutions and some cheap cost-effective solutions? And if we have to come and just we needed to just take that whole wall out and just reframe a section of the wall. Need to reframe the section of the wall. Not sure on the price, probably about $500. Got to get a course on materials. What do you want to do? And here's 5 pictures. So I could see different pictures of it, which gave me the confidence to say, okay, Beck, I'm going to come and do that. And I was sent back to him. I looked at the pictures. I already knew it was rotted from water rot. It's gone. And I just said, okay, $500 approved. Anything more than that, let me know. Click, sent. So I didn't have to go crazy or go back to the site. Hey, Jason, come take a look at this. Go take a look at that. So I got eyes on it. Anyways, so coming back to the slide there. So we have so that's what teamwork would help us on. Then the next one is RingCentral. So a lot of you call us and you make when you call in or you text us or you send us a fax, we use RingCentral. So everything that you're using is coming through RingCentral. One of the things that I'll caveat is that not every software, you can't be attached that every software or every program is going to be perfect. They're just not going to be. Everyone has a little glitch or a little this or a little that. We're just trying to find the best that we can do at the right price and work with that. So, and Teamwork gives you 2 free Teamworks, and then it's, the pricing is, less than $100. RingCentral depends on how many lines you want. Something I'm going to tell you, a lot of people use Google Voice. You can use that. I think it's horrible. It sounds like a scam. And I tell you where I probably got it from is all the people that do scams in Africa use Google Voice phone numbers to scam people in America. So I want something a little bit more professional. And RingCentral is extremely professional. There's another one out there that's probably like Grasshopper. There's a few that are coming out. And they're always adding new ones, new ones. I use RingCentral. I like that one. We can put our greetings. We could record our calls professionally. Everything is integrated. It's on my computer. I can forward calls at any time. I can see what the team is working on. I can see their calls. I can see whether that, if I have a virtual assistant on my side, they have a phone. I give them a phone. It's a soft phone, meaning an internet phone. And they can make phone calls, and I see, all right, she made 42 calls today. And then she got in 27 calls. All right, she's working. Things are moving. If I need to add a line, I can add a line easy. The cost is probably $50 for the first line. And then $50 for every other line. If it's a soft phone call, meaning you're only going to make outbound calls and they don't need to make inbound calls to you, that's only $5. And that includes web meetings and conference call. It's like a robust platform of so many things that are in that. And the most important thing is that it is clean, it's professional. And the calls will actually get to you, and they can text message you, and they can send you images. So a lot of times people don't know that they're sending text messages, and they don't realize that they're sending text messages into my RingCentral phone number, and they're sending a picture, like a picture of a house. Hey, I got a picture. All right, send it to me. Don't worry about it. And it shows up on my phone. It shows up on the computer. So it's a fantastic service. I really like it. Is it a little glitchy on some stuff? Yes. Can the Wi-Fi stuff get a little glitchy a little bit? Yeah. Is it, am I going to give it a high rating? Yeah, I still am. And it just works really well. So the next one that we have on the list here is Pat Live. So let's see here. I know I pulled out of the presentation. Let's see. You might be able to see that. So the next one on the list is Pat Live. So Pat Live is the answering service that we actually use. And why do we have an answering service? So the reason why we have the answering service is that you'd be surprised. The biggest thing is who's going to answer the phone when I can't? And that is whenever I can't. And it's not a conversation on, before work or after work or on the weekend or this. It's just whenever I can't answer the phone. Wouldn't it be awesome to have a professional company answer that phone with the professional script And then as soon as they finish getting that script, they send that script to you in an email format where now you can have a moment to look at it and then call them back if the call is deserving a response back. So we use Pat Live. Pat Live is about $1 a minute. And it is, for some people, it will be a backup system. Like for us, it is a backup. We have a primary where we have someone on the team answer our calls for us. And then the backup is Pat Live. And you'd be surprised how many people call you at 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe wanting a recording or something, but they get a live person calling them. And Pat Live has been around for years and years and years, and they have answered hundreds of thousands of real estate investors' phone calls. Hundreds of thousands. I would probably even go and say over a million, because I know a lot of people that actually do use it. Is Pat Live quality going to be as good as maybe Jason Rodriguez answering the phone? No. Is it going to be better than most? And remember, I have 20 years of practice, so that's a big learning curve there. But is it better than nothing? Absolutely. For some people starting off brand new, might they be a little bit better than you? Maybe. I think after you get trained for a little bit and record yourself, as you're supposed to be, pre-screening and recording yourself is going to be part of your process. Why? So you can hear how you sound and you can polish out any kinks you might have inside there. Like I'll overemphasize and over role play. Like some people, when I first got started, I heard myself and I was like, hi, yeah, my name is Jason. I'm like, I couldn't even remember my name. And I intellectually knew what I needed to say just as in my brains, but I couldn't get the words out of my mouth as they were in my brains. So that's why we tell you to role play though. I mean, record yourself and role play. So Pat Live is going to definitely do better than that. And I would throw Pat Live about an 8 out of 10. And with practice, you're going to be better than an 8. You should be. And just the fastest way to getting better in pre-screening is to just go through the process, listen to yourself, and practice. All right, so I am looking for my presentation here. That is the Teamwork app. So we should ask whether the Teamwork app. The Teamwork app, the construction app is a separate app. Teamwork is a separate. Those are two different apps. Teamwork one. The construction, I think it's code construction. That's the construction app. Different. All right. Let's see what else we have here. I want to share my screen, but it looks like it took it away. So let me just try to get it back on. Oh, no, I can show you right here. I can show you here. Give me 1 second. Share screen. Let's go big. All right. Boom. We'll close that one. How about that? All right, there you go. So now I'm back into sharing the screen. So we talked about RingCentral. We talked about Pat Live, the answering service. We talked about CallFire. No, we're on CallFire. So CallFire right now is a text blast and voice blast system, which is pretty awesome. Some of you right now, you're starting off early and you're starting off, this is one of your first, maybe you haven't done a deal before and you're building your buyers list. So the thing about building the buyers list, you want to build that buyers list big where you have a lot of investors. You ideally want to go and have, 1,000 investors. So as you're building that buyers list, right? So when you build that buyers list, you're going to have their phone number, their email address, not so much their address. People are probably less likely to give you the address, but they will give you their phone number, their email address, and they may say where, like the town or the county they live in. Or they definitely will tell you the county. I don't care where they actually live. I care where they're going to actually invest. So their phone number, their email address, and what area they invest and what kind of properties are they looking to invest in. So I get all of that type of information so that I can start sending deals to them. But in the beginning, so I send deals to them, but I also am asking them to send me deals. So CallFire is a text blast system. Callfire.com. Let me actually even pull it up real quick. Let's see. It's Callfire. callfire.com. Yep. So this is the website to Call Fire, and there you go. It is sharing. 1, 2, 3. That's callfire.com right there. And you sign up. The way that we do it is we kind of pay as we go. Maybe we throw the $20, $30, $40 inside there, and it does text messaging. It tracks calls. It does voice broadcasts, is what they call it, versus voice blast, is voice broadcast. I mostly use this one and this one. They've added different services over time, but they do a great job in sending out these voice blasts and text blasts. And you can use it for, right here, they say appointments, important messages, polls, text message polls, send reminders, notification. And one of the things why I really like callfire.com is you're going to build your database. And as you're building your database, you will quickly get to 100 to 200 investors very quickly by just using some of the strategies on how we talk about building the database. And that is a little bit further on down in the training, and we will definitely talk about building database. And one of the strategies for database is you're going to collect the 100 phone numbers. Could you imagine trying to text 100 people a message? Like how long that would take? Forget about it. What if you had 200, 300, 400, 500, or 1,000 people? That's going to be pretty tough to send. I mean, it's almost the higher the number, the less likely it's going to happen. So with this service right here, I think it's about between 3 and 5 cents per text. They will send out a blast to as many people. Like you can send up to 1,000. I mean, I think you can send a few thousand at a time, and it'll get the same message. And our message sounds like, "Hi, my name is Jason. This is my database. So, hey everybody, what's going on? It's Jason Rodriguez. I need some help in buying a property. I have, let's say I want to buy what would I say? Need some help from you. I have $250,000 that I must come and put, buy a house with. Please help." And I may say, the area, the town, the county that I want to buy in. And you will be surprised how many people will start responding. Massive amount of people. I would say for every 100 people that you have on the database, you will get probably 10 to 15 people to respond, which is a pretty high response rate. And then when it'll trickle down from there to maybe 4 or 5 people actually have a deal. And when I see those 4 or 5 people that actually have a deal, you'd be surprised. A lot of them are new investors, new just like you, for whoever is new. And what I've done from there is I just connect with those new investors, and I'll ask them. They'll ask me what I'm looking for, and I'll tell them what I'm looking for in what area, and I try to get and I'll ask them, do you have anything? They're like, a lot of times they'll say, no, I'm gonna work on it. And I'll ask these 3 questions. Do you have a deal? Do you know somebody that has a deal? And do you know somebody that might know somebody who has a deal? So I'm asking those 3 questions, and even if it's on a text message, and they'll be like, well, I'm kind of working on it. And a lot of times I will get on. I'll ask them, do you have like 10 minutes to speak? And if it's a new investor, a lot of times that's what they're looking for. They want to come and talk to somebody that sounds serious. I just sent a text blast. I have a few $100,000 that I have to put. And they respond, and they'll jump on, and they'll say, hey, yes, I got, I do, or I don't, and then they'll tell me what they're up to. And I'll say, oh, you knew? And they're like, yeah. And I'll ask, have you done any deals yet? Have you closed any properties yet? And I'm like, not really. I was like, and so I'll ask them, are you doing any marketing? And they're like, well, I'm kind of doing this and this. And so I always try to give them some tips on things that they should do. And I'll ask, do you have a database? One of my first questions, do you have a little database? Yeah. About how many people you think you might have on that database? I got about 70. So there's 70 local investors. Yeah. Have you been talking to them lately? A little bit. When was the last time you sent a message to a text message to them? And he's like, a month or 2. I'm like, all right, well, this is a great time. Can you take the same text message I sent you And can you send that, put your name and your thing, your info inside there, but can you send that to those people so that they can send you a deal? And when they send you a deal, can you do me a favor and put me on the top of that list when that deal comes? And they're like, oh my God, yeah, absolutely. And so that's how I'm able to do a lot of deals with newer investors. Now you may say, well, what's in it for them? Well, what's in it for them? I'll give them a fee. They may, if the deal makes sense, I'll throw a few $1,000s on it for them so that they can actually make something, because I do want to pay them. I do want to take care of them. They brought me the deal, and I don't care who brings me the deal. It doesn't have to be some smart person. I don't care who brings me the deal. As long as my numbers make sense and my numbers work, I will purchase the property. I'm not attached to it, and I don't care how much, how much they're making on it. As long as my numbers, if they got that house for $1, God bless you. If I could get it for my number and I'm happy with my number, I'm happy. So that is CallFire, and that explains why we use it and how that does play out inside here. So let's see what is the next one on this list, and then I'm going to show you a little bit more of how we put them all together. So we have CallFire, so text blast, voice blast. So I talked about the text blast stuff. The same thing I put in writing for the text blast, saying, "Hey, hey everyone, what's going on? It's Jason Rodriguez." I'll do it on a voice blast, and so that voice blast may sound. It's a pre-recorded message. I keep it for less than 1 minute because they bill me by the minute. Plus, I know that people are not really trying to hear a long message; they'll just hang up. So my message might sound like, "Hey everyone, hey everyone, hi, this is Jason Rodriguez, and I believe just give me back up. What did it sound like? Hey, this is Jason Rodriguez, and we probably met at an investment club, or I got your card someplace, but I need your help. I'm looking to purchase a real estate investment property. I have cash. I can close quick. I just recently closed a deal, and I got to put this money to work. And if you can help me, that would be perfect. And I'm okay. First, if you have a deal, perfect, send that to me. If you know somebody that has a deal, maybe you reach out to them and find out what's going on, and then give me a call. I'll make sure that I take care of you in the process of that. And if you know somebody that might know somebody that has a deal, I don't care where it comes from. I'm just looking for a deal. And here's my phone number. Here's the phone number. Give me a call. Maybe we could just chat, and I can tell you a little bit more what I'm looking for. And maybe I can, we can help each other inside here and make some money. And so that may be my recording. And I'll come and say my recording is not, I'm not Wall Street. I'm not corporate America. I'm just a regular guy that just has some money, and I'm getting on the phone call and I'm talking to them. And I'm just, will I fumble a little bit? Yeah, sure. So what? Because here's what they heard. I have money and I want to buy. And how often do they get a phone call from somebody or a voice message saying, we met at an investment club or some kind of investment meeting, which they're going to probably say, yep, that probably sounds about right. I don't remember who he is. I got your card. I got your information, and I'm looking to buy a property. I just closed the property. I have cash ready to close. Please help me. They don't get those calls. They wish they got those calls. In fact, people pay for those calls. Literally, I do. We pay to find the hungry investor that has money to purchase our properties. And here's how we know that. When you get your property that you're going to buy, let's say you're wholesaling it, now it's time to sell. So at that point, a lot of times we are going to be spending our money to find a buyer that has money in their pocket that can purchase our property. So that's how we use CallFire. And we're able to send them in bulk and fast. And another tip with CallFire, when we send CallFire out, if you have 100 people, the objective is to talk to them, somebody to send you a deal, and they are going to call. And there's going to be two different things. One person is going to call saying, hey, I want to come and get a little bit more information from you. I might have something. Or I want a little bit more information from you so that I can come and find you something. Or the third one that we see that's common is, hey, I just saw that you called and I missed your call. Oh, and then you get, that's on a text voice blast. So those are the common responses that you get back, and you're going to want to be able to talk to them. So with that being said, I don't send 100 all in one shot, knowing that I'm going to get 10 people to probably call me like back immediately, 10%. So what I would do, I may start off by doing 15 at a time. And inside the system, it allows you to break down, and you can send out as many as you want, as often as you want. You want to send out 5,000 in one shot, it'll let you. If you want to send out 5 in one shot, it will let you. So pretty powerful, extremely cheap, and massively effective. All right, the next thing we have here is Yellow Letter Complete. So the Yellow Letter Complete is our marketing company that we purchase. They send out all of our yellow letters from us. And Zach, not the mentor Zach, there's another Zach. He works for Yellow Letter Complete. I think he owns yellowlettercomplete.com. You can tell him that Jason Rodriguez sent you. And they send out postcards and letters for us. And that's for a later conversation, but those are tools and resources. On average, the yellow letter costs about $1 per letter. $1 per letter. And that is with the list. That is with the list. The next thing that we do is we have virtual assistants that we use. So we use some virtual assistants. In the beginning, some of you have on a shoestring budget, and you may have to do a lot of the stuff on your own. Some people are willing to, you want to leverage your time and you have a little bit of money. So a virtual assistant is fantastic. It's probably one of the first people on your team that you should get outside of Pat Live. And the virtual assistant can help you on many different tasks. They can help you with pre-screening leads. They can help you with answering the calls. They can help you with finding deals on the internet, like free low-cost marketing strategies. They can help you to implement a follow-up process. They can help you, find contractors if you need. They can help you set up maybe a teamwork. But one of the things I'm going to come and say with the virtual assistant platform is that you must treat this person as a real team member, just like if they were working in your office with you. A lot of times people, they get a virtual assistant and they treat them like, here is a subcontract that is a professional that is just going to know how to do everything, and everything is going to work out absolutely perfectly. I will tell you that is the biggest mistake that you could do. And learn. I have gone through many virtual assistants, and the struggle is real. A lot of times people hear about the virtual assistant. They hear how inexpensive they are. They could be as low as $3 to $8 an hour to help you with no taxes, no self-employment, none of that, no medical or dental or none of that stuff. It's just a flat rate, and it can do using a virtual assistant effectively is very powerful. It can get a lot of work for you, a lot of important work for you. But you must commit to training them and teaching them and constantly supporting them and knowing that they are not going to be perfect. From 0 to 10, starting off, you'll be lucky if you get them at a 7. And I want you to be going with your eyes wide open. And here's what happens if you go in and think they're the professional coming in at a 9, and they are at best starting at a 7, you're going to be extremely disappointed and say they are horrible. But if you know that, hey, if I could get a 7 and I'm walking in at a 7 and they are the right person that I can invest time, energy, and money into, and that over time they will eventually even just wind up to be at 8.5. That's the way I want you to look at it when you're pre-screening any of the VAs. And there's a lot of VA services, and there are a lot of them. When I first started, they would do whatever you needed. Now, there've been a lot of them that have been trained for the real estate investing market. And so there are also companies that, the company has a team of real estate virtual assistants, real estate investing virtual assistants, and they more understand our business. They understand Ring Central. They understand, a little bit of a call fire. They understand how to work a CRM. They understand how to pre-screen a seller. They understand how to pull comps. So at least the basic part of it, coming in at a 7. So again, my reco is that you have to be willing to invest time, energy, and money into your virtual assistant team. So RealFlow, the next thing that we have on the list right here is RealFlow. Let's see here, RealFlow, boom. RealFlow is a CRM. It's a customer relationship management software. And that's where you're going to put all your leads inside. They do web pages. It's a CRM for real estate investors. It does some comps. I'm not a fan of the comps too much. I throw the comp section probably about a 7 out of 10. It does have a little deal analyzer. I would throw that probably 8 out of 10. They do have a section where you can get some leads. They have a bunch of different things. I think the main piece that I started off liking them was I needed to take all of I would fill out a property information sheet for the property, right? I fill it all out. And then I would collect them and have a stack of all of them. And then I would rate them A, B, C. And I kind of still do that because I'm a paper guy. On paper, then I go electronic. So I would fill out the property information sheet and then I would put them into RealFlow and it would track every single lead that came in. And my virtual assistant would do the same thing. They would pre-screen it and then they would put it right into RealFlow and then we can keep a track of all of our leads and the whole team can keep a track of what's going on with that lead. And we know whether, hey, this is a hot lead. We got to get Jason needs to be on that one. Or the virtual assistant needs to just do some follow-up because they're not quite ready inside there. Or maybe we need to just put them in a drip email campaign or whatever we need to do. Or we bought the property and now we're moving into the construction phase. So where are we with that? So it kind of keeps the whole file in place. Was the first piece that attracted me to RealFlow and CRM. They have come very robust. There's a few different ones. There's a lot of them out there, like Podio's out there. I heard from a few people in my mastermind and the higher level groups that I'm part of that, you know, Podio does very well as long as you build it out. The challenge is if you're starting off and you're brand new and you've never done any of this, I don't recommend that you go into a software where you got to build it all out. RealFlow has it for the most part built out. They have a text blast system. I don't necessarily use theirs. I like mine better. They have they'll do letters and postcards for you. I really haven't used mine because I like my guy from Yellow Letter Complete. You can use those. A lot of times what they're trying to do is just have it all under one house. So that's RealFlow. RealFlow probably costs about anywhere between, it could be about $100 a month. Set $70 a month to $100 a month, just depending on what level of program you get inside the software. So that's what that is. The RoboForm, which is the next one. Oh my God, another little pet peeve. And as often as I fight it, I see sometimes it doesn't work. So password systems. So I am going to recommend that you have your passwords in a password platform. I use a system called RoboForm, and I will tell you the reason why I use RoboForm is because in today's times we have a lot of passwords, and they are constantly changing. So I tend to use RoboForm because it keeps all my passwords protected for me, and I don't know what it is, like $10, $20 a year, or something like that. So let me see here. Give me 1 second. I'll pull myself back up here. Where are you, Jason? Whoops. Where are you? There you go. I'm looking at myself on the wrong screen. Give me 1 second. Let's stop sharing that. I'm going to come and show you this RoboForm so that you can see that. And here is RoboForm. So this is RoboForm. Small. But oh my God, you would be blown away on how many times I get on a call and they got to log in. A client has to log in for this coaching or this software and that software, and I can't get this software to work, and I've lost my password with this, and I can't keep my password with that. And they have an hour call and they're spending 22 minutes of an hour phone call trying to figure out passwords. That is not the best and highest use of our time. So, please get yourself something that holds your passwords, especially, you know, you don't want to waste a call with this, and just have everything ready when your coaches get on and whatnot. So that's why I recommended RoboForm. And let's see what else we have here after RoboForm. Biz filing. We had a few people that asked about business filing. Hey, look, I need to set up my corporation, and what does that look like? I use a company called bizfiling.com. And the reason why I use bizfiling.com versus other companies is because they manage they set it up Plus they manage all the minutes and the things that all the paperwork you got to do and all the other filings. They send a message, hey, you have to file this. Do you want to do it on your own, or would you like for us to do it for $57? $57. Click, send, done. I even have it as a default. If I don't answer you, just do it. Why? Because I don't want to fall behind on that. And so that's why I use Biz Filing. Their rates and everything is up there. They're fantastic. They walk you through everything. They make sure that you are compliant in your law for your state. They help with the federal, whatever you need inside. They get tax ID numbers. Bless them. They do a fantastic job. So right now I want to, so we went over quite a few different, let's see here. Give me 1 second. I want to share this screen, this second screen again here. And I know I'm bouncing around. Hopefully it is worth it, because what I am trying to do is kind of share the slide with you. There you go. Okay, so here's the next slide. So this is the total, all the slides we were kind of going over. The Biz Filing is here, the password. So these are all the systems in place. Now let me kind of show you and see how we connect the dots with that. So let's go here. So I'm going to go to this one. So here's real life of how we are actually putting this in place. So let's say we get leads in, this is the lead gen. This I wrote on the board behind me, and it was just a sample. So I figured I would use the sample, and I'm going to come and tell you it's not a perfect model. I just wrote it on the board, and I figured I would show you this as a demo. So it is just for demonstration. Lead generation. Let's say you were doing a text blast. You do the text blast. You use CallFire. You built, on the text blast, you built you have 100 people that you went on Google and you found, or meetup.com, or live real estate investing associations, or Craigslist. If you go on all of those three those websites that I just said, or you can pull 100 phone numbers for sure. You take those 100 phone numbers, you pop them into Teamwork. You pop them into Ring Central. So the lead goes into Ring Central, which would have had another box here. That Ring Central lead, let me back up. Let me do it a little bit different. This lead, let's say we went to For Sale by Owners. So forsalebyowner.com. We pulled 100 leads. Those 100 leads, we send them a text blast. That text blast says, hey, I'm interested in purchasing the property. Out of the 100 people, they're going to go into a Pat Live. Pat Live is going to ask them 10 questions. They may get 6 answered. What do you owe? Get clarity on the repairs. What's their motivation? And what are they asking? Are some of the top most important questions. Pat Live is going to then send you that information and push it over for someone to pre-screen it. So that someone that can pre-screen it is either you or a virtual assistant that can do it, or maybe somebody on the team. You, personal assistant, somebody else on the team. What they're going to come and do is they're going to get back on the call with them, and here's where it says you, the VA, or an acquisition person. That's what we call them. Their job is strictly to buy properties for us. What those people are going to do, either one of them are going to gather the information, gather more information. Whatever's missing, get more info, get a sense of why they are selling. As we said before, some people want to use Podio. We use RealFlow. RealFlow can help us with comps. Zillow can help us with comps if you don't have like any other comp piece, and we'll talk more about comps later. So this person is going to pull comps. They're going to map the property, and they're going to put photos that they may find of the property rather into RealFlow. It's not Podio, it's RealFlow. And at that point, we're going to set an appointment and then confirm the appointment. So let's say the phone call comes in, Pat Live screens them, we ask the questions, Pat Live asks the questions. It sounds like something we need to get on the phone with. Let's say my acquisition person gets on the phone with them. They're going to pre-screen them. They do all the information. They gather all the information. This sounds like something we should do. At that point, we're going to set the appointment. If it sounds like something we should go by, we say yes. Then it goes up the yes funnel. The yes. Do we want to make a live appointment versus making an offer over the phone? First, we haven't seen it. There's a lot of different things. Not only that, most important is that you're going to get 7 out of 10 people are going to accept a live offer versus the other 3 would accept over the phone. So a higher conversion rate in going to the property live and making your offer. And they say yes, you put it on the contract. If you get all this information, they say no, then you're following up with them. And we'll talk more about the follow-up. So how does all the software and everything that you just learned come into play? Well, for the lead generation part, that could be, you could have used RingCentral to send the text blast. You could have used RingCentral for the text blast for all the for sale by owners. And that's how you would communicate, is send the text blast. So you need RingCentral. When they call back, you're going to need a phone number where they're going to call back. What phone number they're going to use? RingCentral's phone number. You're going to forward that phone number from RingCentral to Pat Live. Pat Live is another service that's going to answer the call. That's the other system. Then where are you putting the leads that actually come in? You're going to put them in RealFlow, not Podio, RealFlow. Well, if you want to use Podio, that's fine. We're recommending RealFlow. And then, that's how a lot of those softwares are coming into place. And I'll even, let me look and see what other software do we have. Give me 1 second, because 1 second. So I'm trying to think of what were the other software that we have. I have it right here. All right. So we said RingCentral we're going to come and use for the phone. Pat Live is going to answer it. CallFire is going to send out the text blast. We could use Yellow Letter Complete on this follow-up. So let's just say they're not ready to come and sell right now. So how do we follow up with them? We could follow up with a phone call. We could follow up with a text message. We can follow up with a postcard. We could follow up with a yellow letter. And if we're following up with those, we would use Yellow Letter Complete. The next thing we said is there is a virtual assistant that was on the list, right? Here, if we were going to use a virtual assistant, this is where the virtual assistant would kick in, including maybe the follow-up process. We said RealFlow, so RealFlow was answered right here. And the other one was create the RoboForm and passwords, because you're going to have a password for RingCentral. You're going to have a password for CallFire. You're going to have a password for everything pretty much. And the last one was the business filing. So I show you this one right here, this flow process that says, oh, okay, now I see real world of how I might get this all done and why I might need the tools and the resources and that you're recommending. Don't need to pick every one of them. Doesn't mean that's for everyone. And also remember that there is a little learning curve in each one of those, because you're learning something new. But these are the tools and the software that we use, and I wanted to show you how we use it again. Right? Live. So all of that. And I think I had another picture here. Let me see. I love these flow charts because they help me to identify what we're actually doing. Here's another one. We do a lot of marketing to burnt out landlords. Or landlords that have vacant houses, meaning they may just be renting a property. So we'll get all the landlords that are all the properties that are for rented that are not a corporation, like a big company or a big apartment complex. It's just a single family house. And so the lead source, vacant landlords, they could be for rent.com. Also places where the landlord would market to rent the house: Craigslist, Zillow, apartment.com, Trulia, rental.com. I'm looking for single families, small apartments, and condos. We put that in a spreadsheet. We put it in the spreadsheet and we collect the data, which is the phone number, the address, the name, the virtual assistant usually does this for us. We build a list of 100+ landlords that are looking to sell. And you could do that all in, my virtual assistant will do that in less than a day. And then we're setting a voice blast and a text blast. We use callfire.com. We send 20 contacts in 15-minute intervals, and the recording. So I'll record a message, or I'll have somebody on the team record the message, and we use 160 character text message. So if I'm sending a text message, it's 160 character, my little message. And the voice recording is, what have we said? I will also say that we will set up for, we have 7 different voice recordings. Hey, I saw a few days, I sent you a message, like let's say we do it in the morning. I'll do one recording for the morning. I'll say, hey, I sent you and let's say it's a voice blast. Hey, I send the first one, then I'll send the second one. Hey, I sent you, I left you a message a little earlier today. Not sure if you were able to get to it, but I saw that you had a property for rent, and I was interested if you might be interested in selling it. Looking to buy a property, and just wondering if you might be willing to come and sell the property. Please give me a call. So I'll do, 2 days later. Hey, it's Jason again. I left you a message. You're looking to rent the property. I'm looking to kind of buy one, but I haven't heard anything back from you. And I'll keep on with that same thing 7 times. Why 7? Because maybe they didn't hear. Maybe they didn't. They say a fact is you do 7 touches and you're more likely to get a result. And who knows? Maybe they're on vacation. I don't know. I don't even know, and I don't necessarily know that I care so much. I just know that the response of hitting them seven touches give a better result. So the same thing with the text message. I will put 7 text messages, and I just pre-write them out, and it has the same tone and vibe as the recording one that I just told you. So then we have that pre-screen the people that call back, enter them into the CRM, RealFlow, find their motivation, build rapport, identify why they are looking to sell, and if it makes sense and the numbers make sense when we're pre-screening them, that yes, it makes sense. Great. Set an appointment. No, it does not. Follow up. That's how again, another funnel of a process. That's where you can wrap your head around and say, okay, now I'm clear on why I need those systems. Do they really fit me? And how do they play out? So that is pretty much our call for today. And I hope that you enjoyed this, and we are going to have a lot more calls. I think that's pretty much it for today. I'm excited that we were on the call. We will have another call in the next 2 weeks. You can keep yourself registered for that call. Whoops. Let me jump out of this. Get yourself registered for the next calls. These calls are going to be recorded, and you can listen to them again and again, and you'll have that one. We also have another deal maker webinar that is live, and that one is not recorded because we're going to talk about private deals and just talk about what's going on and it's people's private stuff. So, but I want you to get on that call. So again, I will talk to you soon. Hopefully you enjoyed all this. I am Jason Rodriguez. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye.